I'm Destiny. On my channel, I specialize in painting landscapes and animals, but on occasion I will paint other things, like abstract or this military painting I did. This one focuses much more on people than I usually do, but it's a special gift from my dad. Having served 22 years in the Air Force, he has a lot of fond memories, especially with his unit named Wildcard 13. I wanted to paint the symbol for his unit, but with something more interesting in the painting. So let's see how I did it. I first went through Google to look for royalty-free pictures. I just typed in military pictures and started browsing from there. I then quickly put them into a drawing app called Procreate and pieced them together how I wanted them. I don't really care about the colors matching or anything, because I'll do that when I paint. Now let's move on to the studio. My dad has a lot of stuff in his room already, so we're going to work on a smaller canvas. For the paints I used, I went with cadmium red, cadmium yellow, titanium white, ultramarine blue, and cerulean blue. Now, I usually only use these primary colors when I paint because it makes it more realistic, but I knew I was going to be using a lot of brown, so I just decided to save myself the time and use other colors like burnt sienna, raw umber, burnt umber, and yellow ochre. Gotta make sure we're always keeping our space cleaned. I pulled out an old canvas, who knows what I was ever going to use it for, but I covered it in some yellow ochre, and we're getting ready to start. Taking some cobalt blue and some white, I'm going to go ahead and start painting the sky, but I'm not laying this on very thick because I want that yellow ochre to seep through and create an almost brownish look. I'm beginning to add my darker colors as you go further back. I did want the ground to get a little darker and then start fading into that yellow ochre as you come to the front. Although as I continue on, I kind of realized to myself, perhaps I should have put that down before I sketched out my people. So I mixed the opposite color of brown together to create a little bit of that gray look, and then I'm going to create the buildings in the background and slowly blend them into the foreground. For the cargo plane, I'm just straight up going blue and gray, and I try not to get carried away with the details too much because I know I'm going to end up covering it in a lot of dust in the end. To create the transparent dust, I do like to use this matte medium by Liquitex Professionals. And obviously scrub it with a sponge, which didn't end up going very well. It was way too textured for my liking, so I did end up dampening a paper towel, and I ended up scrubbing just in circles, and I kept layering it on from there. And I almost like that better, but sometimes I don't get the exact look I want with water. For the soldiers in the back, I'm keeping the same mindset I did with the cargo plane. I'm not adding too many details because I'm about to cover them up anyway. I just want to go ahead and apologize. As I was painting this soldier, my camera had slowly, oh so slowly, been tilting off of its stand, and it wasn't until I sped up the video that you can really start to notice. So with this soldier and the other soldier to the right, I did spend extra time to get those details correct, even though I did end up covering this particular guy up quite a bit. I just feel like sometimes it is the details that can make or break a painting, and also I guess I just had fun. And I'm awfully proud of myself here. I've been trying to use bolder colors to think outside the box to get the colors that I'm wanting, because when you see a color, especially a shadow, it's not just black, it is other things. And so the brown was slowly starting to turn into a purple in some areas, so I took the chance and I liked where it was. As a nice reminder, always step back from your own painting to get a fresh new look when you come back, because I had realized that I really made my background and foreground all the same color, and I really needed to lighten up the foreground as I had originally intended. This will also help this main soldier right here not stick out too much, so I did a little bit of adjusting. These two soldiers will also be covered up with some dust and debris, so I'm also not going to focus on too many details here. I actually spend a lot of time on this guy, really focusing on contrast and shadows. I actually end up repainting him almost 3 times. And he does end up sticking out quite a bit in the final piece, so I'm actually quite satisfied I took my time with this particular soldier. Okay, now it's time to add the symbol and the name of the group right on top. I did not have any removable vinyl, so I just cut it out on construction paper. And I'm also going to cut that little part down and move it. I miscalculated and I didn't end up liking how close it was. I made sure I taped down everything I could, and I held down every edge whenever I went to go paint. And let me tell you, I will forever be using temporary vinyl. I did not like construction paper. No. And then something absolutely terrible ended up happening by the end, and you'll get to see what. So because I used construction paper and not actually used vinyl, I only went over everything with a light coat and then went back over everything like 3 times. Again, that was a huge waste of time, and I will be using temporary vinyl from now on. And I noticed a little bit of unevenness at the very top, so I cut this corner and moved it just slightly because it was kind of driving me crazy. And now here's where you can see the issue. Because the paint was making the construction paper stick, it stuck to the painting. It did not rip any painting off. However, there was a few little amounts of construction paper still left, and I could not scrape those off. I did not want to risk using my scissors, so I actually ended up just painting over them white, and you can't see them by the time I'm done, but still. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and if you liked this painting, go ahead and follow me here. I will make more of this and continue to improve over time. Go ahead and follow me over on my other socials to see things I don't make videos of, and I will see you all in my next video.